Ever feel that pit in your stomach? That constant low-level hum of worry? You're definitely not alone. But here's a thought. What if we've been looking at the cause all wrong? We're about to dive into why anxiety is almost always about tomorrow. And more importantly, what you can do about it today.
Just let that sink in for a second. Think about it. Most of the stuff we worry about isn't stuff that's already happened. Nope. It's that nagging, constant fear of what might happen. And honestly, getting your head around that one little shift in perspective, that's the key. That's how you finally get a handle on this thing.
All right, so if we're going to tackle this, we've got to understand it first, right? So let's get right to the root of this whole future-focused feeling and figure out what's really going on inside our heads.
And yeah, there's actually a clinical name for this. It's called anticipatory anxiety. You know that feeling, right? The one you get right before a big presentation, or when you know you have to have a tough conversation, or even just thinking about next month's bills. It's that dread about something that hasn't even happened yet, and, let's be real, might not ever happen.
Okay, now here's a really important way to think about this. Anxiety isn't some kind of glitch. It's not you being broken. It's actually an ancient survival mechanism. It's literally your brain trying to protect you, trying to map out all the potential dangers to keep you safe. The only problem is it's trying to protect you from a future that doesn't even exist yet.
So that's the big question, isn't it? If the future isn't even here, why on earth does our brain spend so much time and energy freaking out about it? Well, turns out it usually boils down to a few really common triggers.
I mean, take a look at these. Do any of them sound familiar? Stress about a deadline at work, the pressure of paying the bills, not being sure where a relationship is headed. Or how about that classic, that paralyzing little voice that just keeps repeating, "What if I fail?" Yep, these are the exact things that set off our brain's built-in future threat detector.
And this is so important to remember. Feeling this way does not mean you're weak. It doesn't mean you're broken. It just means you're human. You're out here trying to survive in a world that feels incredibly unpredictable sometimes. Your brain is just doing its best to help, even if its playbook is, a little outdated.
Okay, so we've laid out the problem pretty clearly. Now, let's talk about the solution. And to do that, we're going to borrow a really powerful mindset from the ancient Stoics. And trust me, it is surprisingly relevant for today.
See, the Stoics had this absolutely brilliant way of looking at life. They basically split everything into two buckets. Bucket 1, things you can't control. Bucket 2, things you can control. We waste so much mental energy spinning our wheels on that first bucket, right? Worrying about the future, the economy, what other people are thinking. But our real power, it's all in that second bucket. It's about your effort today, your actions right now, your daily routine.
And that's it. It's really that simple and also that profound. The whole game is to stop wasting your energy on that first column and to pour every last drop of it into the second one. That one mental shift, that's the foundation for everything we're about to talk about.
Okay, so that's the big idea. But how do we actually do it? How do we turn this from a cool theory into something we can use in real life? Well, let's break down the Stoic mindset into a super practical 3-step action plan you can start using right now.
All right, here they are, your 3 big moves. Number 1, control the controllable. Number 2, name your fear. And number 3, move your body. That's it. Simple, easy to remember, and seriously effective at yanking you out of that future worry spiral and planting you firmly back in today. So step 1, control the controllable. And this is a key distinction, okay? It's not about controlling the final outcome. It's about controlling your input. For example, you can't guarantee you'll get that promotion, but you sure can control the effort you put in today. You can't control the traffic, but you can control what time you leave the house. So just focus on your schedule, your effort, your little daily routines. That's what brings back a sense of order when things feel chaotic. All right, step 2, name your fear. See, vague, fuzzy anxiety is totally paralyzing. So I want you to literally grab a piece of paper, write down your 3 worst-case scenarios. Then, look at them and be brutally honest with yourself. What are the real odds of this actually happening? You'll find they're usually pretty small. And for the final step, next to each one, just write down one tiny action you could take if it did happen. Just doing that, it sucks the power right out of the fear and puts you back in the driver's seat.
And last but not least, step 3, move your body. This is huge. Anxiety isn't just some thought floating around in your head. It's a physical thing. It's in your muscles, your nerves. It's a real physiological state. So getting up and going for a walk, hitting the gym, heck, even just doing a few push-ups right where you are, it literally helps burn off all that nervous energy, the cortisol, the adrenaline, and it physically hits the reset button on your nervous system, breaking that mental worry loop.
Okay, so now you've got the 3 moves. That's your toolkit. But how do we go from just reacting to anxiety when it flares up to actually getting ahead of it? How do we prevent it? Well, that's where building a daily practice comes into play.
And listen, this does not have to be some huge, complicated thing. We're talking about tiny, simple habits that tie right back to those 3 moves we just talked about. How about this? A 5-minute journal in the morning to name any fears. A quick 10-minute walk to move your body. And here's a good one. Have one real conversation with someone, instead of just doom scrolling. See, it's simple, it's doable, and it is so powerful.
As we start to wrap this up, I really want to leave you with one final and I think crucial way to look at this. That anxious feeling, it's not your enemy. It's not something you need to crush or destroy. Think of it more like a signal. It's a sign that you really truly care about your future, your work, the people you love.
So let's use it that way. Use it as a trigger. The next time you feel that worry creeping in, let that be your cue. Let it be the little alarm bell that tells you, hey, stop spinning out about a tomorrow that isn't even here yet. And instead, use that energy to take one small, totally controllable action, right here in the present.
Which brings us right down to the final and honestly, the most important question of all. Forget about next week, forget about tomorrow, heck, forget about the next hour. What is one small thing right here, right now, that is 100% in your control? Whatever just popped into your head, that's it. Start there.